Okay, I've got a Nemo Endurance two-person tent here. I think it's new for 2019. It's a 4-season tent. I'm weighing it on my scale. It was advertised around 7.5 pounds, and this is saying 7 pounds 6.8 ounces. So it's 7 pounds 6.8 ounces. So it's less than 7.5 pounds. And that is as it comes from, I haven't opened this yet, so I'm going to open it now and see what's in it. Probably not much extra in it, but maybe like a plastic bag. No, there's no plastic bag. So this is what you get. So far, it's just brown. Here's some probably steaks. Pretty heavy duty little bag here. And these steaks are really good steaks. These are those, I think they're like 11-gram DAC steaks. I don't know if you can see that, but it does say DAC right there. So these are good steaks. Summertime steaks. I'm going to be using this as a winter tent, so I won't be using these steaks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's 11 steaks there. And then some guy out cords. Not sure how many of those there are, but it's looking like 4, because there's 4 loops there. So probably 4 of those and 11 steaks. And then here's the poles. It's so awesome it was under 7.5 pounds like this, because obviously you could, well, for instance, take out the weight of this plastic bag. It's not much, but something. And the rubber bands, there's the label. So it's going to go down a little bit, you know. Not much. Looks like some of these, I'm going to set this tent up and show it in the video. But it looks like some of these are pre-bent. That's probably the one for the vestibule. And then you've got 4 others, color-coded, black and orange. They are DAC Featherlight NSL Green. I think those are like basically the best poles around. So nice poles. And then here the tent is the body and the fly are connected together. Oh, this looks awesome. These are really cool bungee things where the stakes go. You can see this strap holds the distance between the fly and the body of the tent. Anyway, I'll show you more of this when we get it set up. So that's the unboxing part. So I wanted to show this aspect of it. So far I've just got 2 poles in, and it's got short sleeves down here. It's about, it's only like 6 inches, but those sleeves, just having 2 poles in, holds the poles up. So it's going to be real easy to put the clips in. There's a sleeve on each corner, and the poles are just kind of staying upright. Thought that was interesting. Okay, got it pitched. The pitch is real tight. It does use 11 stakes if you fully stake it out, because at the vestibules, these 2 points come to 1. And I really like these stretchy cords here. They put a little stretchiness on there, and I guess I haven't really thought this all through yet, but I guess to get to into your door, you just take this little loop off. Not sure that's, what you could do better there. But I like these bungees here. And one thing I noticed that wasn't too great looking is on some of the seams, like up here, I don't know if you can see, but there's loose threads there, and kind of looks a little unfinished right in there. I don't necessarily have concerns about it. Looking at it, it looks strong, but it just looks a little bit cheap there for a $730 tent. On the edge of this fabric here, this edge is, the cut edge of the fabric is exposed right here. It's not folded over into the seam or the hem or whatever it is. It's just a cut edge of fabric. Seems to me like normally you have it folded over. I guess maybe I haven't examined tents as closely as I have this one. But not all of them are like this one. Looks better. In general they look pretty decent. Oh, I forgot a clip here. But it does pitch quite nice. It's got these color coatings, red here, and then I don't know if that's black, but it doesn't seem to make any sense, the color coding, because there's nothing red. The poles are orange, but this orange pole goes into this black sleeve. So the color coding just doesn't make any sense. But bottom line is you just put the orange ones in the center and the black ones to the outside. I didn't even check if they were different lengths. I think they are, and I didn't check that. But if you just know that the orange ones go in the center, you don't need color coding or anything. And then here again, you've got 2 things coming to 1 stake. And that window is pretty good. I've got another tent with a window that's not as clear. It doesn't look real clear right now in this video because I can see the light reflecting off of it, but it's actually a very good window. Yeah, it's nice and tight. The fabric's 30D, which to me feels kind of thin, but I guess that's what they're using on lightweight tents now. I think there's a zipper in here. I'm used to my Kelty 11-pound tent, and so every time I touch something on this tin, I'm like, oh, that feels a little bit fragile. There is a zipper in there. Just because I'm used to heavier tents. This is a really, really lightweight tent for its features and size and everything. There's a tag there that I'll probably end up removing, talking about suffocation. Let's go inside and I'll talk about what I see there. This is the same model. This is the Nemo Endurance, which is a co-deal with First Light, their hunting group. So it's the same as the Nemo Chogori. It's the exact same tent, just a different color scheme. So it's got camo bits and a tan body. It's got enough orange on it for me. It is good to have, I think, some orange for visibility's sake. So I'm going to go inside here and see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, well, that might be a thing. You need two hands to... Hold on a sec. Okay, I assume if you don't pull that all the way down, like if you leave it like there, then you can do one-handed, yeah. So you can do one-handed if you don't bring it all the way down to the very end, because this zipper actually goes right on down to here, which is actually a little bit further down than your grasping point. So if you leave it just like an inch up, then you can one-hand it, which is something I think you do sometimes, you know, even when you're not filming. And see, here's the problem. You got the wrong clip. I got to take this one off to get this one off, and then put this one back on. I don't have to think about that and see if there's a better way to do that. But let's go inside. Here's that window. You can see it's quite clear. I mean, of course it gets a little bit deformed looking because of it's that foldable plastic, whatever, but it's very clear. And then it's got, you know, these things. I haven't even really fiddled with that yet, but I'm assuming that's to roll up the doors. You know. There's one up top. So there's 3 of those here. Because there's basically 3 doors. We just came in the side door. You can use the center door or the other side door. And this is the vestibule space, which is quite big. I think it's 11 square feet. It is definitely big enough for a pack, actually big enough for 2 packs. You know, so you could do 2 people in here and put both your packs up here and enter and exit through this door. This vestibule is really small. I'd say from the end of the tent to the corner of that is about maybe 2 feet. More like, it looks like 1.5 feet. And then it's of course just a triangle. So this is the vent system. They got 2 of these vents, one on each side. So there's a hole in the body of the tent. I mean, you know, a zippered thing. I remember one person or one reviewer complaining that there wasn't a bug screen here. And there's not for this flap. But for this one, there is. This is a bug screen here. So, you know, yeah, I guess bugs could come in down, because you do, it's like a tube, it's a double wall tent, but they don't separate, they're sewn together. You can see that little strap down there, that black vertical thing is, holds the body of the tent to the fly. So theoretically, I guess bugs could fly up inside this, in between the body and the fly, and come into your tent. But they're not going to come through the vent, because there is a bug screen there. So I don't think that's a really big deal. I can see why they wouldn't. I wouldn't put another screen in, have 2 screens. I think 2 screens kind of limit airflow. And I think that would just be too limiting on the airflow. And here's the other one. So for venting, you've got your 2 roof vents, and there's a little hook here for hanging stuff, and 4 little grosgrain attachment points around the corner, and 6 pockets. 1, 2, 3, and then again on the other side. And then I think, I haven't even checked this out yet. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Wow, this is really lightweight tent. This door does not have a screen. There's the other door. Yes, this one does. So, this one you can button up almost one-handed and open up this, and there's a bug net there, of course. That's interesting. There's a little bit of deformation in that netting. It is not cool. I'm seeing little things like that that I wouldn't really expect in a $730 tent. You know, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna write to Nemo about this, but I wouldn't want that if I had a choice. I'd rather have a screen that's right from the start. But anyways, you got a screen there on the main door and no screen on the back door. Of course, theoretically, you could just leave it open if the weather's good. Oh, there's a pocket down here. So is there a pocket? Yep, there's one over there too. You can't see it, but it's in there, in the corner. So basically, you have 3 vents: the door vent and the 2 roof vents, other than plain old opening a door. And 6 pockets. Oh, the floors here are taped. Look at that, I've already checked in dirt. These floors are taped, which means this floor is sealed. What I did notice about the outside is it didn't appear taped or sealed on the fly. And I don't know if that's, I'm going to have to do a little studying and see if that's what, if I'm supposed to seal it or not. Again, here's the junction between the tent fly and the tent body. They're just grosgrain ribbons. And again, some kind of sloppy stitching. I don't know if I can get that to focus, but I've seen a lot of little loose threads like that. And some places where, oh, I don't know, where they, like this, see that? Just not perfectly straight, kind of crooked and messy. Like, I think I could sew that well, almost. Not really, but, again, for a $700 tent, I'd expect a little bit better quality control on the sewing. But maybe I'm just picky. Anyway, I'll come back out and wrap it up. So, yeah, there it is. Will it focus? Hello, there we go. Yeah, I think that's it. It's got the snow skirts all the way around the front vestibule. There's 3 of them, and on the back vestibule there's 2, because the back vestibule just has 2 walls to it, effectively. And oh, there's another clip I didn't get. This was my first time setting it up, so it took a little doing. Oh, there's another one I didn't get. Sheesh. Oh, there's one other thing I want to say about this tent. Well, let's look. So I've got it fully staked out, which is great. You really only need 1, 2, 3 stakes at a minimum, because the 2 at each end of the vestibule, or 2 at this one and 1 at the other vestibule. You don't have to use these stakes along the body, so you could do with 3 stakes if you were certain the weather was really good. But another thing, I don't have any guy lines on this right now, and so you'd need more stakes if you're going to guy it out. But it is quite wiggly left and right, like this. Forward and back, it can't budge at all. But left and right, if you were in a wind, if a wind was hitting this tent sideways and you didn't have it staked out, guyed out with the guy loops here, it would go back and forth like this. I don't know that that's really a problem, but I just noticed that. Comparing it to my Kelty tent, my 11-pound tent that is basically the same size, but weighs like 4 pounds more, and that thing, I almost feel like I could walk on top of the Kelty. This thing is not that strong. It's strong, feels like, but it is not as strong as an 11-pound tent. It's as strong as a 7.5-pound tent, basically, I think is what you're dealing with. And it's got these carabiners for the junctions where the poles cross, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Actually, they don't put them down there, but on the top crossings they have those carabiners, and the other ones are just the simple flip over things. These are very nice poles, I think I mentioned before. Well, DAC, Featherlight, NSL green. I believe those are top of the line poles. And oh, the vents. I didn't really go over the thing here, but it's got a little Velcro connection here to hold up that. And of course you can zip it up if it's stormy. Whoa. Okay, that tag has to go in order to close this vent. So they're really serious about you reading that tag, because there's no way to zip that shut without removing that tag. So yeah, you can zip it up, but you know, most of the time, most likely, you're going to have this thing open to some degree. And even got a tie-out point up there. That's kind of interesting. I guess that would work fine. So that's it, the Nemo Endurance. I might do some other video after using it just to see, you know, how I feel about its actual operation, which I'll be trying soon. So that's it for now.